What are some of your unethical life hacks? Story 1. When you're calling a utility or customer service number and you need to speak to someone but receive an automated menu prompt, choose the Spanish option, then press 0. Multiple benefits here. More often than not, they do not hire reps that only speak Spanish. They will most likely be bilingual and will handle overflow calls in English anyway. Second, Spanish speakers are less common in India, so the Spanish-speaking call centers are usually located in the US. So when you get the rep, you will not have to deal with language barriers often encountered with the Indian reps. In addition, the wait is usually not as long. Source: used to work at a title company, and this usually works when calling large corporate banks. That is some deep-level strategy right there. The reasoning is sound. I'm not sure exactly if this could be called entirely unethical. I think it might be if this kind of practice would take away from those Spanish-speaking customers who have absolutely nowhere else to turn. If Spanish-speaking customers were getting denied because everyone was using this tactic to get an English-speaking representative in real life, then I'd be concerned. But all the other talking points are really interesting at how the title companies and corporations handle these kinds of customer service problems. Story 2. I love this one. Okay, so when buying beer, if a beer comes in both 6-pack and 30-pack form, each individual beer will have a barcode on them. If you scan this barcode at self-checkout, it will come up as a 6-pack. So rip an inconspicuous hole into the side of the 30-pack and line a beer's barcode with your tear. Be careful. Make sure the box can still be carried with the small rip turning into a large one. During self-checkout, it can get sketchy. On most checkouts, the price comes up briefly. I've done this many times and only been busted once. The employee said, "Wow, I can't believe they rung up that way." Whatever. And we were on our way. Nothing like purchasing 90 beers for a little over $20. That's an interesting one, too. Self-checkout can lead to a lot of little tricks like this one. Personally, I don't drink, but I wonder if this works with soda as well. That would be an interesting one for the future. Story 3. A YouTuber said this in one of his videos. How to have a guaranteed callback from a girl when you give her your number. Number 1. Go to an upper-class area near an ATM or a big bank. Number 2. Search trash cans around the location for withdrawal receipts. You're looking for one with a large bank balance on it. Try to collect a few, maybe 30,000 pounds to 40,000 plus pounds, and stuff them in your wallet. Number 3. Now, when you give a girl your number, just pull one of those out and write on the back of it your number. At some point, they'll see your bank balance and decide to give you a go. Ooh, sneaky. This is like the guy version of TikTok beauty filters. Yeah, that's a bit unethical. It's kind of iffy. You're not outright lying and saying what your bank balance is. It just happens to be the scrap of paper you had available at the time. I gotta be honest. At the beginning, it sounded like some kind of stalking thing with searching through the trash can for ATM receipts. Story 4. Edit. I'm a dude. Decent looking. I would say it's 50-50 on guys and women offering it. Mostly chicks, though. Entering the partying rave scene. I tell everyone I've never done any pharmaceuticals. Suddenly, everyone offers me C-substance, E-substance, magic lettuce, psychedelic squares. I think I've had $200 worth of pharmaceuticals each weekend for free. Same with liquor. I'm not drinking tonight. Boom. Everyone gives me booze. It's like everyone wants to break your integrity as soon as you tell them you're not doing whatever they're doing. Story 5. I buy organic produce, but use the self-checkout and ring it up as the non-organic version. Yes, I'm a rebel. I used to do the same, but would go crazy with it. I don't know if they fixed this, but Fresh and Easy used to ring up bananas at self-checkout by count, not by weight. They don't weigh the banana. I'd ring everything up as bananas and just pretend to scan them. 10-pound bag of frozen chicken? 25 cents. Huge jug of laundry detergent? Same. Anything. All I have to say in my defense is that you gotta do what you gotta do when you're broke, and food stamps don't make it through the month. I'm doing much better now and no longer steal food and household supplies. Story 6. I have a bunch. Here are a couple of my faves. Buy the cheapest ticket you can find for a sporting event you want to attend. 1 hour before it starts, log into StubHub to see which nice but not heavily secured seats are still available at a price point higher than the competition. Write a few of them down, and chances are you can sit there all game without any issue. Keep your next parking ticket, pay online, and put it on your windshield whenever you need to park illegally. I don't go to sporting events, but I like that first one. If you get a rejected by security, it makes the sporting arena look like a bunch of jerkwads for just holding on to these expensive seats and not using them. I think that parking ticket one depends on the effectiveness of the particular police force where you live. A big metropolitan area, you might be able to get away with it. In a smaller town where everybody knows everybody, maybe not so much. Story 7. I take a purse into the uni dining hall with Tupperware in it, load up multiple plates of food, then take a bunch when leaving. I do not feel the least bit bad about it considering what they charge me in tuition. Plus, I pay to get into the dining hall anyway. Also, having worked banquets and buffets before, I know they probably throw away literally tons of food per week. Might as well turn some of it into dinner. Story 8. When lying, always include something slightly embarrassing or something that makes you look bad as part of your story. It's not only going to disarm their skepticism, admitting to something embarrassing gives an impression of humility, but even if they remain skeptical, they'll be left wondering why you would make something up that you'd rather keep secret if it were true. Story 9. I always pick rock in rock, paper, scissors against my sister or in front of my sister. End up doing dishes more, etc. But the odd time I really need something, I pick scissors. She's always going on about how I'm so dumb for always picking rock but know what's up. Ooh, interesting. Taking a few small L's to rack up a big W. That's some strategy right there. That's chess-like type of 3 moves ahead strategy applied to rock, paper, scissors. I'm gonna have to remember that one. Story 10. If you look like you know what you're doing, no one will bother you. To prove this in college, a friend and I walked into the student union holding a clipboard, walked straight over to a table, picked it up, and walked out with it without anyone saying anything. Story 11. When buying something on Craigslist, I use my spam email to lowball the seller by a lot. Then I use my regular email to give a reasonable offer that is still a good amount under the asking price. I almost always have my offer accepted. Story 12. If someone hurts your feelings, dedicate much of your free time and energy into finding ways to humiliate them and ruin their life. It can become a very fun exercise, leading to increases in problem-solving abilities and the gaining of inexpensive life lessons. This one is highly unethical. I'm trying to figure out if this one is a joke or not. This is the playbook of like every single sitcom antagonist ever. This is the definition of petty. Story 13. If you want to download movies, music, or software, just Google them and read the DMCA complaints at the bottom of the search results. All the copyrighted material is conveniently listed there and where you can get them. Good guy Google. Story 14. If you're hungry and it's between 6 a.m. to 8 a.m., you can get free continental breakfast from pretty much any hotel you walk into. It helps if it's busy. Story 15. If you ever go to a country concert, wear something that implies you're in the military. You won't pay for a drink the whole night. And here we have another big unethical one right here. This is the one where it's a lie by implication. If someone assumes that you're in the military, then they'll be buying you a drink. That one completely falls apart if someone starts asking you where you serve. Then you find yourself in a situation where you're kind of lying like you're in a 70s sitcom trying to get your way out of the situation. That one could end badly. Story 16. The weirdest I've heard of is rich moms hiring handicapped people to go to Disney with them so they and their children can skip all the lines. Story 17. A substance dealer in D.C. taught me to pick my nose if the police are staring at me. No one picks their nose if they think someone is watching them, so it's the ultimate way of being nonchalant. Story 18. I post fake job ads on Craigslist for positions I'm interested in. Get tons of resumes from people who are looking for similar positions in my area. Then, I make sure my resume stands out from the rest when I apply for a real job. Oh, man, that's pretty good, actually. If someone's taking the time to send out a physical resume with an envelope and a stamp, I feel a little bad that they're paying money. But sending an online resume is practically free. That's a pretty interesting way to get an idea of what your competition is doing. It's the average Joe's version of data mining. Story 19. When phoning up your internet service provider, rather than waiting through the robotic voice thing, choose the option that says you want to quit their service. This way you will talk to a human faster, as they will persuade you to keep business with them. Story 20. Have a set of pictures on your phone of yourself in your apartment. Send one to your girlfriend before you go to sleep when you're actually getting drunk with your friends. Edit. Why is everybody so mad? The title of the thread says Unethical. Story 21. Call up your TV provider and tell them you want to stop using them. To keep your business, they will offer extra channels. When the channels run out, repeat the process. I have had NFL Sunday Ticket on DirecTV for 3 years straight now for free. Is this really unethical? I think this one falls more under the category of negotiation. You said you're not happy with the way they do their service, and they offer something to make the service different for you. This is just the American version of haggling. It feels even better because you're able to haggle with a corporation. Story 22. I'm not condoning this behavior, but McDonald's will replace any item free of charge. No questions asked. You can eat an entire Big Mac, walk up to the counter with the empty wrapper, and just tell them it wasn't good. They'll make you another free of charge. Story 23. If you break something but don't have the receipt anymore, buy the exact same one from the shops and then either scavenge parts from it to fix yours and take it back claiming it didn't work out of the box, or just return the old one with your new receipt. Then sell one on eBay. Story 24. Whenever I go to a big chain movie theater, I get my tickets from those electronic kiosks they have at the front, and I buy the child's price tickets. They're way cheaper. The guy ripping the tickets never gives a care. I'm always prepared to say, "Oops, did I buy a kid's ticket by accident? Sorry," if I ever get caught. But I've done this at least a dozen times and have never been called on it. I don't think this one is as effective anymore. All the theaters I've gone to lately all have assigned seating. If you're going in to see a very popular movie, it could be very hard for you to get a seat. You still might be able to get away with it if it's a matinee or during the day or some unpopular movie. Story 25. Here's a classic. Drive over to your 7-Eleven of choice. Fill up a Slurpee and drop some candy bars in that sucker. Make sure the candy bars aren't showing. Cover the Slurpee and pay for it. Free Snickers, sucker. Story 26. When career hunting, flagging Craigslist posts as spam after applying or taking down flyers for a position, like at a college campus, cuts down on the competition. Story 27. If you call in sick to work, always say your doctor is a she. Just that tiny detail makes it so much more legit.
I can't make it in today. My doctor's a woman.
Why does that work? Do we just trust women doctors more? That one's really interesting. I'm literally trying to rack my brain right now figuring out how this works and why. Someone needs to elaborate on this one for me. Story 28. If you need cash from an ATM and it's not a large amount, buy a 5-cent piece of gum from a gas station that has the cashback option. It's cheaper than a $3 charge. Story 29. For apartment dwellers, when the local newspapers get delivered to the building, pilfer all the takeout coupons. Mad criminal mastermind over here. Coupon hoarding. That's my version of extreme couponing. Although you do have to look at the coupons. If there's wording on the coupon that says limited to per household, then it's probably not going to work. But again, you can also say you're recycling. You're not letting all this paper they printed coupons on go to waste. Story 30. Never tell vendors for your wedding that you're hiring them for a wedding. It's an event or a reunion. Big price difference. Story 31. I'm actually teaching a class on how to carry out all sorts of scams. Registration fee is $500. Cash or money order only.
Please leave your story in the comments. I would love to make a video on them in the future. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe.